In this lesson, we want to do a breakdown of this template. I want to keep things very simple for you and not too complicated. So let's say that you want to edit this template for your website. We're going to start to work on from the very top, which is this menu, and then to this hero section, and we're going to go all the way to the bottom. Now, as we go through these, I'm going to show you where to edit them so that you can replace these images with your own. And you can change some of the wordings if you wanted to add something, remove something, delete a section. We're going to break this entire template from the very top to the very bottom. This is going to give you an idea. So if you decided that you wanted to build something from scratch and you wanted to add more modifications, then you're going to be able to do that. So let's start off first. Now, since we're going to start off with this top section here, we need to go to the back end of Joomla and work on the Helix framework. This template utilizes the Helix framework. So once you're logged into the back end, you want to go over to System. And from System, you want to click where it says Template Styles. You notice that you have two templates here. This is the Joomla default, and this is the Helix, or rather this Allura template. So you want to click on Allura. From here, you have several options. This is the menu assignment. Now, I'm not going to cover the menu assignment for this, but one of the beautiful things about Joomla is that it gives you the ability for you to assign different looks to different pages. So let's go back to the details and want to click on template options. Now, I've already covered this earlier on, but I want to show you how to apply it to a template like this. And you can be able to move this menu bar anywhere in the screen, okay? So if it's over here, you can drag it all over the place. So now let's break this down. The goal is we want to focus primarily right now on just this header section and then the menu, okay? So you click on Basic. If you want to change this logo to replace it with your own, you can either use a text and put in your company's name, company, right? And it's going to utilize that text for it. Now you'd have to make sure that you click save if you want to finalize that. But for now, I don't want to finalize this. I'm just going to leave it as that. Or I'm going to put it back to an image. And I'm going to switch this over to use a logo. So let's go with this Joomla right here. So click on select. And you notice that every few seconds it auto updates to show you what you've done. And if you want to choose a retina logo just for higher resolutions, you can do that. You click select, and you can do the same thing too for a mobile version. Now, you may have to redesign the size based on your logo. So make sure that you do so. This is just an example to show you what's possible. So now we've changed the logo. Okay, now let's say that you wanted to change this heading section. You didn't want to have this sales message right there. So you want to go over to, you scroll down. And by the way, you can add a favicon, right here. So this is what the users are going to see. If you notice right over at the very top, that's what that favicon is. So if you wanted to, let's say, change how the header looks, well, let's go to the header. This gives you the option to choose how you want this section to look. If you like it how it is with that message, you want to keep it that way, that's fine. But if you don't want to keep it that way, you want to explore other options. So let's say that I want to switch it, right? So I'm going to click on this right here. Once I clicked on it, it removes that very top message, and I can check to see what this looks like on different devices to make sure that it's how I want it to be. Okay, so next we can choose another option. So this is based on your personal preference. If you like how a particular item look and you want to keep it that way, that's fine. So for now, I'm going to go back to this right here. So I want to leave this to stay that way. I don't want that message showing up at the very top. The next thing that we want to do is we want to see, do you want to, when you click on this this sidebar here, this off canvas, you can be able to choose how you want this to lay it out. So to do so, you go over to the menu and you scroll down and you go to where it says off canvas. So when you go to the off canvas, then this is where you can be able to choose what you want to show. So if you didn't want for this social icons to show or for anything else but just the name and the menu to show, then you would just click that and that's going to turn that off. When you click on it again, you're going to notice that you don't have any of the things showing there. And you can even choose what menus that you want to connect to this part. Okay, for now, I'm going to leave the store menu as is. And we're going to take a look at that if you want to change some items. But you do have the option to click quick links and companies, but I haven't gone over that. So let's keep that simple. If you want to change, you can choose the left bordered and you click on it again. It's going to look different. Now it's at the bottom. You can choose the center align. But that's how you can be able to, change the menu. So now let's say that you want to change this from being, instead of being to the left, you want to move it over to the right. So let's do that. You click this drop down and you click right. It's going to move the off canvas menu to the right. Now some people prefer that way, others prefer it to the left. Again, that is all the personal preference. Now let's say that you want to change the menus here. Okay, so we're at the menus. We're going to go back to the very top. We're looking at the menu builder. So you have the menu builder and then you have the mega menu. So for now, let's go back to the menu builder. I'm going to move this over like right here. With the menu builder, you have the option to move things in different positions. So if I wanted to say move this category and I wanted to put it next, past the shop, all that I would have to do is just hold it and I can drag it to wherever I need it to be. Okay, so now when it refreshes, you notice that the shop has moved and the categories has moved as well. If I wanted to edit the menu names, all I would have to do is mouse over and then click on that. And then I can name this, let's say I can call this Women 2, for example, right? And if you wanted to connect these, this is where you would connect them. I'm going to show you later on how to connect the back end to the front end. But if you wanted to change the names, this is how you're going to change the names for it. And then I'm going to click on save. So now we have Women 2. When you go over to look at the categories, it's going to have the Women 2. Or if you want to change any one of these names, that's how you do. You mouse over and then you click to edit and you can make the necessary change to that. So if I wanted to, let's say, change from shop to store, I can just do that as well and then click on save. And as you can see, it's simple to edit the header part, okay? And once you're done with the changes, if you like it and you want to keep it that way, you just click on save. It is going to save that. You can always come back to make any changes that you want with it. And if you wanted to change the hover colors for these, you can do that as well. So let's say that I didn't like this orange or this yellow. I can just choose something else. Once I choose that, you notice that the menu colors are changing. And if you wanted to have a custom style, you can do a custom style for the top bar as well. And it gives you a lot of flexibility for the header. If you wanted to change the background color, let's say this background color right there, you wanted not to have it white, you wanted to have, let's say, I'm just gonna pick random color so you can see how that looks. So now I've changed this section here to the red, and then I can change this back again to any colors that I want. You can do this for branding purposes. Let's say that you want to match a particular color scheme. Well, this gives you everything that you need to do that. And if you wanted to change even the hover color, so right now it's the blue. If you want to change the hover colors for that, then you can do that as well. I'm going to make that white. The hover text, when it's active, I'm going to make that white as well. So you give it a few seconds to update, and now you have that white. So this gives you so much room to customize this top to your liking. You can change everything that you see on here exactly the way that you want it to be. And then from there, if you're satisfied, then you just make sure you click on save, and then you have exactly what you want to do.